about Girls in Action.
It was the youth group I was a part of as a kid. GAs. Ghost Adventures, Girls in Action.
Girls in Action. Hello, everyone. Welcome to On the Hunt.
Yes.
I'm Whitney.
I'm Amy.
And we are on the hunt.
We are on the hunt. We are redundant.
We're dumb.
Welcome. We are, listen.
It's been a minute, okay?
My allergies are through the
Here's
roof
where
right
our
now.
freaking excuse. Welcome to Excuse Hour. Where we just complain about it.
They are, though. My nose won't stop right. My head is just like boom, boom, boom.
Oh, but we're happy to be here.
Groom my cat and his fur
Amy's
tumors or whatever's wrong with
Someone
him.
called the Humane Society
Please
for Penny,
don't, because I'm
Penny
afraid they'll
Powers.
take him from
no,
me.
I'm kidding. Oh my God. Well, everyone, welcome.
Yeah, we're it's that time for us to release our Tales from the Prayer Closet.
Yes.
We will be covering season 1, episode 3 of Ghost Adventures in this episode. Do you like this? Are you enjoying this? Please watch episode 3
You
of
really
season
need
1.
to. It's magical.
Comedy genius.
It really is. Unintentional comedy.
Yes, so funny. I was dying laughing.
Oh, it was great. Well, then
It's amazing.
We'll get there. So
Yeah.
this episode is covering the Moundsville Penitentiary. Am I saying that right? Penitentiary. It's so hard.
It is a
Pen.
hard word. The
Yeah.
pen.
The
Go to the
Moundsville.
pan.
And I always just say prison. I never say penitentiary.
No.
Penitentiary.
See, when I say it, I add an R, I think. Penitentiary.
You definitely are. Because the whole time you've been saying that this morning, I'm like, is that right? I've been saying that wrong my whole
letters.
Penitentiary. Anyway, you
Yeah,
know what we mean.
anywho, that's what we're covering. But before we do that,
Is this in Ohio or West Virginia?
West Virginia.
Okay.
The wild and wonderful whites of West Virginia. That's
Literally,
a
we're
great
there.
movie.
And
yes,
that's where we are
there,
today.
And I think there may have been some family members from that
Yes.
documentary
Yes.
interviewed.
Yes.
But before we get started, our one wonderful co-founding father, Whitney, has a birthday this week.
Is it this episode comes out today.
Well, whatever. I brought your birthday present. You can open it. So 1 week from today is your birthday.
Thank you. You're so sweet.
But you have to open it because it pertains to Ghost Adventures.
Oh my God.
Now on, I'm just always giving you
Ghost
a Zach Bacon's gift.
Well, because he is kind of cute, okay? Nobody else agrees. Okay, I'm opening the present. How's this, Chris? Sorry. Oh my God, is this a pillow?
Yeah. Well, that's not Ghost Adventures.
Oh, it's so great.
That's Mean Girls.
I know, it's going in my office. Amy gave me a pillow that says "Boo, you whore" with a little tiny ghost. I love it. Oh my God, I love this so much. I know exactly where it's going in my chair in my
good.
office. I almost set it up there, but there is fire, so that would be bad.
Yes, let's not burn their house down.
Oh my God.
They're having enough issues with their hot water heater.
Oh my God. What? I haven't looked at it yet, but I'm a little afraid.
Why, it's an autographed photo of Zach in the bowler hat and giant glasses.
Next to a flat screen television and a... Oh my God, is this really autographed?
I mean, I don't know if it's just a reproduction. I bought it from Etsy, so
Oh
I
my
don't know.
God.
But it was advertised as an autograph photo.
This is amazing. Look at him. Oh my God, I love it so much. Oh,
I couldn't
my
believe I found a
God.
picture of him in the hat.
It's amazing. And where is he? There's
Who
like
knows?
Jesus behind him, a flat screen television, a
maybe real fireplace. I'm not
gas.
sure.
We don't know. There's like red windows. It's alarming. Oh my God, thank you so much.
You're
This is
welcome.
magical. I have, these things are both going in my office, which is just turning into a weird representation of the human being I am.
So is my office.
Yeah.
It's all good.
It's like,
I have haunted objects
Right.
in there. I have random things people have given.
know.
Sage won't go in there because I have Sloth's mask from Goonie.
I mean, it is
I
scary.
tried to explain to her, no, he's the good guy.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
you guys!
I know, but it's
he's
just-
so sweet. I
is
watched
so
Keaton and I watched that the other day just because we were like, what's
Why
on
not?
HBO Max that we haven't watched for a while? And she was like dying laughing. I'm like, have you not seen this? She's like, I've seen it a million times. It's
just
just
a classic.
funny.
That's so sweet. I can't wait till my kids are old enough I can share things with them and maybe bring them to the weird side, or maybe they'll
Yes.
refrain and go normal.
We'll see. Or you just have to ground them for doing stupid crap.
Yeah, or that. I'm sure it'll happen.
Okay, so now that the unboxing portion of the show is over, we think you guys enjoy it. You haven't told us otherwise, so we're not going to stop.
Send us an email. Oh, we now have, I think, 21 members in our discussion group.
I need to start posting in that.
Yeah, Amy just told me that we need to have a business meeting. I'm like, get on the business, Amy.
I really should.
Anyway, so get on over there and join. There's a couple links to it on our Facebook page. We just post random, paranormal stuff we see throughout the week.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we're ready to give this podcast wings, people.
We
Help us. Ready to fly.
Now here's the sad, depressing begging portion of the podcast. Moving on, let's talk about Moundsville Penitentiary. Welcome. Come on a ride with us to West Virginia, a place where dreams come true.
Yeah, or go to die. We're not really sure.
Die. Yeah, The Wild and Wonderful White. It's really, I find that movie really depressing.
It is so sad.
Yeah, because I'm like, this is, yeah.
Like in the line, drive-through line at, it was at Taco Bell.
They won't let
her bring the baby home.
I know.
It's like because you got her high in the maternity ward. God. Thank God they didn't let her bring the baby home. What is happening? Really sad.
Okay, so we're in West Virginia at this penitentiary. It's so big.
Yes.
It's enormous.
We're in Moundsville, West Virginia. It is huge. And they're trying to find, Zach and crew are trying to find it with a paper map.
We're in 2005, people.
But still.
We didn't have MapQuest then.
Yes, we did.
Oh, no, but you had to print it. It wasn't on your phone.
But they weren't, they had an actual map. And it's not even a very big town, though. No, I'm like, you're just trying to, you could have just pulled over and been like, hey, where's the pen?
They're like, go straight.
And it's literally the largest thing in the entire town.
But it's in the middle of this town, and there are houses built all around it. Prisons aren't,
it's in a neighborhood.
I feel like prisons aren't like that anymore. They're out in the middle of nowhere, kind of. Yeah. Because no one wants to live across the street from a giant...
even the ones that are far away, anytime there's like an escaped, convict, like people, like schools get locked, as they should.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
But it is pretty scary. So so they're looking on it and
looking on
map, trying to find it, and then they're literally in front of it. Yeah. So that was just for show.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, too, because in, like, the come up on, Zach, there's one part where Zach's like, I don't like this right now. We'll get there later. But it's like, God, Zach.
I know. I was taking notes, too, on the come up ons. Because you never know. Because sometimes in the coming up ons, they don't
say that later.
They don't come up on it. It's just like...
Well, they show all the best parts. Yeah. And you're like, well, that's everything that happened. Thanks a lot.
So Lord. They get there, and Zach immediately talks down to us peasants and explains what a prison is. Like,
where the worst of humanity goes. And I was like, well, not always. Look at the West Memphis 3.
Yes.
They were like normal.
There are a lot of
innocent people
in prison.
Yes, 100%.
Kim Kardashian, keep doing the work, girl.
Yeah, but he was mansplaining prisons to her.
Like,
well, excuse me, I'm a little poor woman. What is a prison? Shut up.
Because they don't have prison for women.
Well, women used to go to this one, and then I forget, like in the 40s, they broke it off. Can you imagine being in a women and men prison? Ew.
Well, it's like that show.
Oh, yeah, Jailbirds.
Toilet talk.
Toilet dating.
Yes.
And then you have your fecal acne.
Yes, you have your fecal acne, which is terrible.
Which is
so much worse than regular acne.
Everything about that. God. Just like don't have a boyfriend.
Yeah. You can't actually see them or hold their hand or
and just imagine they have all the fecal acne on their lips and chin you do.
Yeah, you know nothing about them.
You're talking into a toilet.
They could be Zach Bagans. Come on.
Well, okay. Really... I'm in. Just kidding. I'm the Patrick of this podcast now. God. Anyway, okay, great.
All right, so, then they have the coming up on. So they get to the prison, and it's like, commercial break.
Yeah.
And so then there's this guy in the car. It's like
a red hatchback?
Yes, I even wrote that, red hatchback.
From like 1975.
Guys are stabbed, hung, and cooked in pots.
I know.
And then I'm like, what? Okay.
I know, I wrote, this dude's seen some shiz.
Yes, at least they do revisit that. Yes. Because I had so many questions about guys being cooked in pots.
Like, how big is the pot?
Yeah.
I've never seen a pot
Is this
big.
a Hansel and Gretel situation?
Well, I mean, I guess if you're cooking that much, vegetable
soup. That's the kind where you gotta, like, use two hands and, like, stir, like a cauldron.
I mean, you can't properly stir that.
God, what? That's the worst job. prison cook.
Well, maybe not.
Yeah.
Prison
I feel
toilet
like you have a lot of
cleaner.
control.
We're also back to toilets.
Yes.
Yeah. You would. Oh, you want extra cornbread?
Not happening.
Yeah, or give me
your cigarettes. I don't know
that's like the highest currency. Highest
for sure.
Cigarettes
and shanks, I imagine.
Yeah, mascara if you're in a women's prison.
Eyeliner. Actually.
Oh yeah,
very into their everywhere. Even your eyebrows are just eyelinered on.
Well, you got to, I guess.
But I guess they shave them off and then just eyeliner. They're even thinner than mine. It's
shave
very
them
concerning. Off? Well, I don't know. Have you ever seen that?
I know.
It's just like a very
doot. Yeah. It's just like when you draw a bird, as a child.
Exactly.
Upside down like. V. Anyway.
Oh, well, they're more symmetrical than mine.
So, I mean, it's hard. Your eyebrows are sisters, not twins. That's what you got to remember.
Okay.
Yeah. Why are you looking at that?
And I've had stitches in mine, so it's the...
Yes. Moving on from our eyebrows. So 1,000 people have died there, which... Yes. I mean, I didn't think that sounded... I mean, that's a lot of people, but I expected
I'm assuming
more
some
almost.
people die of old age and lack of health care also. I can't imagine
prison.
they're all murders.
Yeah.
But the U.S. Department of Justice did name it one of the 10 most violent prisons in the United States.
Great. So can you work on that?
Yeah.
Can we start at number one?
Yeah. Can we talk about... We're not going to talk about prison reform. No, we're not.
No.
But come on.
Yeah.
No.
And they used to hang people at this prison.
Yes,
they have
gallows.
Yeah,
even a gallows door.
I know.
Was like,
that's and they show it. Is that the actual one?
I guess. Yeah.
Can we?
So
not?
the floor just drops out from under you.
Oh my god.
Hey. I mean, I guess that's better. Some guy kicking a stool out from under you, but still,
that's wearing a pillowcase over his face. Show me your face if you're gonna kill me.
And it didn't seem like a very big door. Like, what if you were a larger person?
But it was so high.
Well, that's the point of hanging.
No, I know, but but from below wherever the cameraman was, it was like 30 feet up.
I mean, you probably had to go up a bunch of steps.
How tall is it?
I'm like, really? I have to walk up all these steps first
to die. Wow.
Okay.
Death penalty.
That's dirt. That's dark. I was going to say dirty, but dark.
Both. It's dirty and dark.
And so, per Zach, the ghost of 998 men still roam free. Mm-hmm. But are they really roaming free, Zach?
No.
It's a prison.
Well, it is large, I suppose.
Yes.
We get to meet Paul Kirby for a minute. He was a former warden. On his first day there, he cut a guy down that had hung himself. I'm like, that's...
Yeah, and why is the warden doing that job? Shouldn't there be like a...
I don't know hierarchy of prison
I just can't.
guards.
Because isn't a warden like the boss? The warden runs the prison. The warden is more of like the business side. Yeah, the CEO.
God, what a terrible job.
Yeah.
Didn't they used to live on campus, for lack of a better word?
I think,
with their family. No, at Alcatraz, because I remember they had their
But there was
quarters.
one thing where I get true crime and paranormal mixed up. Wasn't it like...
Well, this is true crime, I suppose.
The guy broke into the apartment and changed into the guy's clothes.
He went through the ceiling.
Yeah. Was that Ted Bundy?
That may have been Ted Bundy. I think you're right.
So he lost
Ted
all that
Bundy,
weight.
What a guy. Yeah, and he climbed through that tiny hole.
We need Ted Bundy.
What's your diet plan?
We are trying and nothing's working.
Well, yeah, I mean, think it was a tiny hole too.
Yeah.
Read what's her name?
Stranger Beside Me.
Yeah, by Anne Rule. Yeah. Very fascinating. Ted Bundy though, yuck.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So anyways, they were talking to him and then they talked to Ed, the sex guard, who just I heard lots of things.
Was he the one who worked overnight?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. They just kept jumping.
I know, it was confusing.
The beginning of this episode was just beep, 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 beep.
All these different guards.
Pause.
I know,
I don't know what's happening.
Who is this? But this one guy, I think it was this one, who he was talking about how he worked in a tower and he'd see things because he worked overnight in the tower, which I was like, no, thank you. And, he's obviously looking down anyone escaping? And then he'd see shadows, so he'd hit the alarm, and then it was nothing. And it's like, ugh.
So he became known as the guy who cried wolf, basically, at the prison.
And then they show that picture. That's next on my notes anyway.
Oh, I don't have that.
The Shadow Man picture.
Oh, yes, when they're talking to... Well, first they just start, like, harassing people in the neighborhood. They start going
knocking on doors of people.
And I even wrote down that, like, he went to the one lady's house across the street. And her little dog ran out and Zach bent down to pet it and it ran away from him. Like, smart dog.
But then she's, like, telling about catching not catching, but photographing. Photogging.
Well, she said caught.
Yeah, but I'm just like, you didn't. Gotcha.
Get him trying to get away now.
But she's telling all this
apparition
in front of a child. I'm like, can you not?
And it's like she was talking about how she was in the basement of the boiler room. It's like, do people?
I know.
Is that just what you do for fun? Like, do you have to get permission, or do people just like go hang out at the old prison?
Right, and then they jump to another.
Never really.
Right. And then they jump to another lady who's talking about going to the Sugar Shack. And immediately I'm like, what the hell is the Sugar Shack? What a weird
name. It sounds like the place at the mall where you buy bulk candy.
It's literally a place where isn't that the
I feel
shaved like ice, sugar, in Bowling Green. There's a
is it called the Sugar Shack?
Sugar
But I feel like in prisons, isn't the Sugar Shack where like the hanky-panky goes down? I think that's why it's called. Well, I don't know why.
We later learned this was the recreation area. So I'm like, why didn't you just call it like the rec center? The Sugar Shack. And they show a picture of the doorway leading in at one point, and it's so creepy. And you're like...
And there's so much like graffiti artwork everywhere.
And you're like, was that from then or now?
Yeah.
Like at one point there's like a sexy picture of like a guard. Did you see that? It was like... He was like a pinup guard.
I just remember there was like a guy with a pool cue of cartoon, and then he's got an 8-ball chain.
That's what I'm thinking of. See, I thought he looked kind of sexy.
He's like shackled to an 8-ball.
Yeah, it was bizarre.
It was very bizarre.
It's like, I'm just chained to the pool to pool.
I
can't stop. Can't stop.
I'm a hustler,
Won't
baby.
Stop. We're just singing different songs.
God. All right.
It was weird.
So anyways, Lori is talking about the Sugar Shack where she saw a man at 3 a.m.
Yeah. Digging.
Yes. And like, then the guard, then they're back to the guard and he's like, I've actually fell. Right? What? I don't know. No. That's not an episode.
This is Ray.
Now we go. He is an
This is the best part of maybe one of the best parts of the whole show.
Zach
knocks on this guy's door. He's 105.
He's super. I'm like, has someone checked on him? He needs a caregiver.
But there's someone there because they're like, later on, they're like, Ray! So someone was there.
Okay.
But then later when he talks, he seems very coherent.
Yeah.
But then at this part, he does not seem coherent.
Knocks out the door. This old man walks at the door. Zach reaches out to shake his hand, and the only way I can explain it is when you do a trust fall. The old man literally falls.
Trust falls
completely backwards and like hits his head on the floor.
To the ground. It's like a domino falling.
Yes. Zach is just like, just looking at him. I don't know if he thought, why did they not cut that out? That is so rude.
Thank God they did it though, because it's.
But I was just like, is this really
unexpected? Zach does help him up and like help him to a chair, but it was just,
he's like, don't step on your glasses, and then he immediately steps on.
And he's like, oh, glasses!
But then it's like, Zach, can you give him a minute? Like,
no, tell me about the prison.
I think he has a traumatic brain injury right now. Can someone call an ambulance?
But he was like, I have no balance.
I have no balance. Clearly,
in his chair, even. He had no balance.
But Zach proceeds with the interview. Yes, he did.
No shame.
He decides he needs no medical attention.
He's got a job to do, Amy.
Yes, I guess.
This poor...
and then was that Ray? Or was Ray? Yeah, it was Ray. Because Ray's talking about how he was captured in the riots.
Was that Ray?
I don't know. I wrote Ray was captured in a riot.
Well, because then the next guy had like a big beard who was like, I'm still in therapy.
Well, no, that was a prisoner.
Was it?
Yes. That was Redbone.
No. This was before Redbone. Because, Redbone. Yeah, there's many beards in this episode. If you live in West Virginia, you must have a... Zach does not fit in this town.
But all the ex-guards he talked to are so, like, super upset.
Yes.
Like, they can't even talk about it. One guy's like, I'm still in therapy. And I'm like, well, good for you.
Yeah, and that's the guy when they were talking about the riot, which seems terrifying.
I'm getting the... Well, they just bebopped to too many. I couldn't keep up
It was confusing. So this guy, he was a guard, and he's still in therapy 20 years later. So there was a riot, and they captured a bunch of the guards. They made them take off their clothes, lay prone, and ran over them. I was like, with what? What does that mean?
Their feet. They, like, ran over them.
They're just running on top of them? Like, you know what you do with your grandpa when his back hurts back in the day?
Yes, except so they're
like, oh, thanks.
But they're naked, and there's multiple inmates running over them, probably in, like, their prison-issued work boots.
No, the prison-issued... Those are, like, Vans.
Probably not back then.
The shoes they give you,
they're just white. They're so white.
And they have no...
Your whole day, you're just so worried about getting shanked and scuffing your sneakers.
I'm just confused as to why stepping on them a bunch was the meanest thing they could do.
Well, were they laying on their stomachs, though, or on their backs?
Yeah, I mean, if you're laying on your stomach, it would be much better, because your back feels stronger, you know.
Well, I'm just talking about them, like, running across their poor genitals if they're naked. That would be
at least
rough.
if you're laying on your back and your genitals are pointed upward, then they're just, like, stepping all over them.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It would be worse if you're on your back.
Yeah. Agreed. We're agreed.
I don't think they're pointing up. I don't think they're excited about what's happening. God.
I'm just saying, I mean...
And then he said something about a bunch of pills.
I know.
What? They made the guards take the pills, or the prisoners took... Well, maybe things were standing up there. Were they blue pills? What were they giving them?
I know, and I'm like, why weren't the prisoners like, yeah, let's get some pills?
Yeah, and then they were like, if anyone charges in, we're killing you.
Yeah, we're cutting off your heads.
Yeah.
Why is that? Jesus.
So anyways, while they're outside... The red hatchback. It's so loud.
It's full of rust.
This guy.
The wheels are about to fall off.
He's just like, what you filming?
Yeah, and okay, when we say red hatchback,
so planned.
It's not.
It was not random.
I don't know. It felt random to me.
There's no way.
He
was the star of the episode. There's no way that was random.
I mean, if it was random, it was just poetic timing. Yeah. So, can you please describe Redbone to us, please?
Redbone has a massive beard.
Have you been to your local...
A trucker hat.
Yeah, I'm just imagining where he would go for beer.
He would be at the local gas station.
Yes.
That sells fish, fried fish.
And bait.
And bait, live bait.
Yep.
Scratch-off tickets.
Mm-hmm. And, like, 24-ounce... cans of beer in a sack.
Yes.
That you're drinking at the gas station.
Exactly, while playing the slot machine. And
that's
him.
You leave and you smell like the bait of the, like Buzzies. He's like Buzzies.
Yes.
He's at Buzzies.
That's for sure where he is.
If you're not from Lincoln County, you don't know what that means. So he's at Buzzies.
You have a Buzzies. It's just not called Buzzies.
Drive around, look for your Buzzies.
Where can you buy live bait and alcohol?
Yes.
Which is legit
cigarettes.
what Buzzies is. It's half liquor store, half bait shop.
It is. Oh, I haven't been in there in a minute.
Oh, heaven.
There's like not enough candy and chips though. I remember going in there with my family and I'm like, I can't get anything in here.
Well, no, their candy chip people really aren't their target demographic.
True. I know. It's just sad.
So that's where
Redbone goes.
Yeah. I think his real name was like Tom.
I didn't even write his real name.
And Zach was like, well, what do you know about it? He was like, I was in there for years.
25 years.
Well, his math is all over the place.
Oh, was it?
His years kept changing.
Oh, okay. I took his word for it.
First he said he was there from 67 to 83, then from 66 to 83. Then he said he slept in that cell for 9 years. Yeah. But maybe he moved cells. So.
But I'm like, what'd you do to be in there for 25 years? Did you kill a guy? Honestly.
Yeah, that's a long time. Yeah. All he had to say about it was bad. Lots of guys got killed. I'm like, thank you, Redbone.
Thank you, Redbone.
And then we go back to that ex-guard where the gallows were. Mm-hmm. And he's like, this is where the gallows were. And Zach goes, where they hung people? Like,
yes,
Zach. Stop asking your stupid rhetorical
He's telling
questions.
that for us, Amy, so we know.
Yeah,
us women.
Us stupid, hysterical women who know nothing about anything.
And then they show like a reenactment of someone being hung. I'm like, thank you for that.
Well, because he's explaining how he kept hearing a boom and he couldn't figure out what it was when he was on the night shift or whatever. And so then he walked around and he saw the gallows doors like banging open. And they're so, I don't even understand. They almost look like they were made out of like metal.
Yes.
Think of like a metal roof.
Yes.
That is what the gallows doors were. Like,
weird.
That's
It's
so
creepy.
Strange.
It's so creepy.
Yeah. Anyways, and he said no one was there.
Obviously.
And then we have Todd in his backward ball cap. Is that where you
remember
are?
Todd,
Where
but
he said this is where you come to meet the devil.
Yeah, he got that EVP, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that said that. Which I'm like, okay.
And then he said...
Oh, yeah, Tom Stiles, internal coordinator at the prison.
Yes.
I'm like, what is that job?
Well, no, that was someone different. Tom Stiles had like a polo with a long sleeve shirt under it.
Yeah, he was cold.
He was.
But what is an internal coordinator at the prison do?
It's closed down.
I know. Maybe for tours and stuff?
Maybe.
Maybe they do ghost
I
tours.
don't know.
I wrote, what is that job?
Somebody had a scratch on their head. Somebody said, I don't know. My notes are terrible.
Well, because it literally goes all over the place.
Yeah, and then he talks to Linda across the street, and she says how she sees people in the windows of the prison all the time when there shouldn't
like,
be
stop
any people
looking.
there.
Close your curtains, Linda.
And Zach was like, well, this is a recipe for evil. I'm ready to provoke them.
Oh, my God.
Like, shut up.
Well, he says that now until he's down in that basement. You'll just wait.
And so then Zach decides, Redbone, you've had enough trauma in your life. Would you like to go on a tour with me and tell me the lowdown of the prison?
The whole entire prison.
And you can tell us why it's traumatizing. Why we're good. He said that to Redbone.
Yeah.
Like Zach.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Redbone takes him on a tour.
Yep.
They go through the gun cage, which Zach gets a little too excited about.
And I'm like, what is that, though? Is it like guards sat in there?
Well, that,
like
and I'm
watch?
assuming they kept their guns locked up there, too.
But it looks so weird to me. But it
it's
overlooked...
just like a chain link fence.
And it overlooked the cafeteria.
Balcony. Yeah.
So, like, they just sit up there, and if something broke out, I guess they start shooting people.
Well, he's like, this is the dining hall, and Zach's like, oh, you mean the cafeteria? It's like, shut up,
it was
Zach.
so nasty, though.
Redbone knows how to use the prison
lingo.
jargon, so back off.
And who knows says cafeteria in a prison?
Yeah, no, cafeteria sounds like you have options.
Yeah, it has like a positive connotation.
You're having the mystery meat today, or nothing.
Or nothing.
So Redbone takes him on a tour. And this is where he says, I seen a guy cooked in a pot of beans. And Zach goes...
I know. like pork and beans?
God. And Redbone goes, no. Like, just brown beans.
What? I mean, what kind of beans? That is pork and beans, Ralph.
Who asked? That's your take... He just told you a man was cooked in a pot of beans, and you want the recipes out?
Maybe he's meaning like the man is the pork of the pork and beans.
Well, that's a terrible joke.
That's where I thought he was going. But
then Zach just legit wanted to know
what type of bean. So, like, what type of, like a white bean?
Yeah, like a kidney bean,
a northern
a hominy bean.
I know it. But that Redbone goes into way too much detail about this.
Cooked him till his meat fell off.
And we're like, no one opened the lid and got him out?
And why? I'm assuming he's dead already.
Yeah, what
Are they trying
was
to destroy the evidence?
No, it sounded like they pushed him in there. Was he a snitch? Was that what it was?
Yeah, he was a tattletale, he was called, but still.
They say tattletale in prison?
Yes.
That doesn't seem right.
No.
Tattletale.
Well,
snitches better.
Snitches get
rat.
Pork and bean.
Oh.
I can't.
Snitches
what would you rhyme
get
that with?
Pork and bean, Amy just said. God. Pray to God tonight that you don't go to prison, because we will definitely be pork and bean.
100%. And you know it's not even Bush's.
No.
It's like Vandy Camp or whatever. Van Camps. What's the other brand?
It's the only other option.
If I've got to die in a vat of pork and beans, it better be Bush's country style, please.
They're so good.
They're so delicious.
What's in them?
I don't know.
Sugar?
Probably.
Not human flesh.
I will eat a whole can of
Maybe
those.
there's human flesh in
no
them.
one will come near me for a full day.
That's what we like.
Yeah.
Leave me alone so I can watch Stranger Things. I've only got through half of episode 1.
Oh, Keith and I did not leave the couch last weekend.
Yeah, my family won't leave me alone.
People were coming in and out, and we're like, we're still here. What about it?
Yeah, quit judging us.
And then Keaton had to go buy the Eddie Funko Pop. She's a super fan of Eddie.
So great.
I am too, but I feel like he's going to die. Please don't die. So we watched the entire chapter 1 of this season. So now we're just waiting for July 1st for chapter 2 to come out.
I'm halfway through episode 1. It's great so far.
It's amazing. I love it.
They're so good at it. Anyway.
Okay, so then we're back to Tom Styles.
Are we in the Sugar Shack now?
Yes,
the grabbing?
we're back to the Sugar Shack. Love Shack. I'm pretty sure that's what a Sugar Shack is.
That's exactly. Sorry, my legs are like sticking
it is a
to
Love
my
Shack.
chair.
I know. We wore shorts. We don't even care anymore. Look at my cellulite.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, you know what? I was talking to a friend from work, Whitney. She doesn't work with me anymore, but she was like, you know what I love about this generation? They don't give a F. They just wear whatever they want. They don't care what people think about their bodies.
Yeah.
You know, they're just like, here I am.
I need to be more of that
I do
mindset.
too. So I'm really working on that.
I'm wearing a Beavis and Butthead tank
You
top
already
as
have
well.
that mindset,
Yes,
friend.
clearly.
You're there. But we're okay with like showing how nerdy we are, but like we don't want to be like, oh god, look at my rolls.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, look at Lizzo. She don't give a crap. She's like literally showing her
Lizzo be
butt.
eating. That's what her Instagram handle
I know.
is. I love her.
For the longest time, I thought it was Lizzo beating though, because it spells that also. You know, I was like, okay, don't know what that means, but she's great.
We love her. I love it. She plays her flute. It's magical.
Oh my god, it really is. She's really. And I've seen a lot of her butt.
Whitney and I have been weighing ourselves on Mondays and texting
They already
each
know.
other.
Because we like
did we talk about this already?
We came to our realization we were sharing our actual weight on the air.
It hasn't like
worked.
Clearly, we don't care what each other thinks. So
Well, I don't know why.
I'm not really sure why we thought that would make a difference.
I don't know. I just needed someone else to know my weight. Oh my god.
I just needed that number out there. Even though I get weighed, I was just weighed at the doctor's office this week.
Oh, Jesus.
Whatever. Like, dang it! Do I have to wear my shoes? That adds.
Yeah, I don't even count that. That's so stupid.
Those shoes, those Converse weighed
15 pounds
easily.
each.
Plus my socks.
They're so hard to walk in. Anyway, back to the Sugar Shack. Someone got grabbed.
Yeah,
Tell us
talking
about it.
he was there with 2 coworkers. And
Why are they
walking
down
around.
there?
I have no idea. Well, I think this is when it was still a prison, maybe. Because why else were there coworkers?
I'm not sure why when it
I don't know
closed
how
either.
prisons and closed down prisons work. I understand nothing.
Well, they seemed to be doing some sort of work because they had tools.
He said he had to go grab his tools, and he was walking with his tool. And we don't know what.
That sounded
I imagine
funny.
a wrench.
Walking with his tool.
And something grabbed his arm. And
Aggressively.
Stopped him in his tracks.
So much so that he thought he had like walked into something or something had like fallen down.
Yeah,
and
he's like, what did I do? So then Zach immediately is like Aaron, give me your camera. Yes. So then Zach takes the camera so Aaron can put the duct tape
like,
X
why couldn't
down.
you just put the duct tape down?
The duct tape is not below you.
No.
And you try to pretend like there are no other cameras there. It's like, well, you just took Aaron's camera, but you're being filmed holding the camera, Zach. So
yeah, there's still a Discovery or Travel Channel, just cameraman.
He's so bossy. I really have a problem with that.
He is the boss, though, Amy, of the crew. What I love though,
I just don't like the way he talks.
Yeah, it's not nice.
Okay. It's
Aaron
demeaning.
has a duct tape dispenser on his belt though, which is really.
Did he have his fishing vest on this time? I didn't
notice, but he literally has like a thing here that he pulled his duct tape out and. That's hilarious.
I need that. I don't know why.
You know, you just put duct tape on your wrist.
Yeah, you could just put it anywhere.
Your arm is a dispenser. Yeah, just hold.
Yes.
It's like
maybe he has really fat wrists.
Maybe he does. Through there. He's like, Zach, would it be okay if I got like $20 from the budget to buy a duct tape dispenser that goes on my belt? Anyway.
I guess, Aaron, since I was so rude to you.
It's pretty great. Aaron has his revenge later, though.
He does.
Yeah,
He
so-
calls Zach a name. It's great.
Yeah. So, we're there.
And then we're back to Redbone.
Back to Redbone.
They go to Redbone's cell.
I lost my spot. Here we go.
17.
Oh,
His
yeah.
initials are still there.
Yep.
And Zach says, how's it feel to be in your cell? And
Yeah.
it's like that.
How do you think it feels great?
And Redbone starts crying.
It's
And then I
sad.
feel really bad for Redbone.
Yeah.
Even though I don't know why he was there.
Probably, and then he later talks about how one of his friends died, but he murdered like 7 or 8 people, and we're like,
But then he justified it.
Yes.
He was like, well, things happen in prison.
you gotta do what you gotta do.
do.
And they were like, well, how many people did you kill, Redbone?
Yeah, I don't want to know.
No.
Redbone's like, I'm not going to say anything that can get me into trouble. So I'm just going to talk about this other guy that's dead. So yeah, he was sad about his friend that died, even though he killed 5 or 6 people himself.
Yeah.
And so then they go to where R.D. Wall was stabbed. He just
Was decapitated.
Yes. Well, first they cut off part of his fingers.
Yeah, this place
and
is
then
like
decapitated him.
How do you? That's got to. With what? Shiv? Did that take 45 minutes?
Just so much.
Oh my god!
Sawing and stabbing, and I mean, maybe they had. I don't know.
Sword?
I was gonna say a saw. But,
Ew, God.
Because I imagine some people have jobs.
Okay, so I have questions. So if you kill someone first and they are dead, and then you cut off their head, there's not blood splurting everywhere because they're dead.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, there'd be some oozing.
Yeah, but
like,
not just because your heart's not pumping.
Yes, it's
the
not
blood.
pumping, so it's not going
So
everywhere.
I wonder what this situation
But
was.
was he alive when his fingers were cut off? Because otherwise, why are you cutting his fingers off?
Just for torture purposes.
Yeah.
And then,
so
it would be very hard to decapitate a live person, I would imagine.
Well, yeah.
You're like, no,
Please stop.
I need this.
I could do without the fingers, but the head is a necessity.
Essential. It's like the most important part. It's my brain stem.
Yes.
My spinal situation.
It is the neurocenter of the nervous system.
If I don't have a head, I really have problems.
I do. But then this is where there's a face apparition all the time. Maybe it's his disembodied head. I just now realized that.
I'm sorry, these
R.D. Wall, is that your floating head?
That's so sad. These poor prison guards that had to go find these things.
And so then Zach is like, Aaron, give me your camera again. You got to make a duct tape.
Another X. Can they not just remember where? Then they still would have to search
this area.
Yeah, they'd have to search through the building to find the
And
X's.
it's so funny because then they come back later to put their cameras down. Why don't you just put your camera down there now?
Right. Why don't you just bring like a wagon full of
I don't
cameras
understand it.
and tripods?
So confusing.
It just has to be super intense.
Yeah.
The whole thing needs to be intense. It's just now is when we're locked in, right?
Yes, and Zach is like being super bossy about the flashlights, like over the top. Like, you can't have your flashlights on. Everything must be only infrared because we don't want the ghosts to see us coming. We're going to ambush them. They're ghosts.
Right.
Do you not know what ghosts are? Do you need us to womansplain to you, Zach, what ghosts are?
But then he literally, right after he says it, he just starts screaming about how it's his first day on the job.
He goes, come on, you old convict. I'm the new guard. So he just starts. Can you imagine Zach Bagans as a correctional officer? What? Every woman, he would get the shiv.
Oh, immediately.
Or the shank. Was a shiv and a shank the same thing? Or do you shank with a shiv? I don't know how this
think you
works.
shank with a shiv.
Okay.
He would get shanked with a shiv in a second.
100%.
Well, first they would make love to his sweet self. They would,
They take him to the sugar shack.
That's not funny. We're making fun of rape.
No, it's okay when it's Zach Bagans.
No, it's not.
We hate him.
I don't. I mean, I think he's ridiculous. I don't want him to be gang raped by old convicts. Sorry, Zach. We should take that back. We take that back.
Yeah, we do. There's nothing funny about that.
No, there's nothing. And we just
hate it. I hate you.
I don't hate you, but I have issues with you. Just stop yelling about
and then
Dusty.
he's yelling at them to get in their cells and never come out.
Yeah, he's so aggressive. But the whole thing with the flashlights and the black light or the night vision, he just told us about that like 15 times.
Yeah, we get it. We know what night vision is.
But anytime you see a light, that shining light's not a flashlight. It's night vision. And I'm like, I don't understand how that works, though, because it looks shiny. So they're literally walking through this prison, though. It's pitch black, and they can only see through their little
LCD screens. Yeah.
Which is terrifying.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do that. No.
But whatever.
No, but it's them.
I don't even believe them. They do that for like 30 seconds and then they turn on their flashlights. They just don't film it. On to you, Ghost Adventures.
And so they're like looking for they're like trying to get EVPs. They're not getting anything.
And they got the EMF reader out. And then it spikes.
Yeah, to like a 10, which I'm like,
yeah,
is that high?
Zach is like, take the temperature, Aaron!
Of my neck.
Yeah, and he's like, oh my God, Zach, it dropped from 68 to 48.
That is significant, though.
That is, but show us proof. I didn't see it. I mean,
true. And maybe Zach's just like a vampire.
Like, Nick, take an EVP.
Yeah.
And they caught nothing.
Nothing. And then Nick and Zach see a figure walk past the doorway, but they didn't catch it on camera.
No, so
obviously.
Zach immediately starts shushing everyone.
Yes. Shh, shh. But then they start getting some higher EMF readings up to 30. And then they just showed this like glamour shot of one of them. Do you remember that? It's like, here was a picture that we took earlier of Nick or Aaron.
Yes. It's posing.
Yeah, and then they're like, and you can see these glowing eyes behind him. And I'm like, no, it looks like headlights.
It looks like an exit sign.
Yeah, or a headlight.
Or headlights.
Yeah, but it's so funny.
Yeah, he's like leaning on the jail cell door.
I don't know if it's Nick or... It's not Aaron. I think it's Nick.
Yeah, it was Nick.
It's so funny, though. I'm like, are you so embarrassed by that?
I'm embarrassed for you.
I'm secondhand embarrassed.
So then they hear footsteps.
Yep.
I didn't hear him, but they did. So Zach is
coming toward them.
Come back in here, inmate. Put your head against the fence.
He's so...
I'm like, you're so mean.
Just stupid.
Yeah. We don't want you to be sexually assaulted, but I totally want you to get beat up and shanked with the shiv. For all. Well, he's being mean.
Well, that doesn't mean you deserve that.
They are human beings.
Well, they are choosing to be in this relationship.
Well, they can't. He can't talk. That's rude.
No, it is.
Where'd you face it? Like, I just imagine him actually talking to inmates like that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm talking about the inmates, not the ghost adventurers.
Because I'm like, well, they're getting paid. I mean.
Yeah, no. I don't feel bad for them at all.
No. No, they're willing participants in all this. Oh, it's so great.
And then they get another EMF spike, so I don't even know if I'm buying all this.
Well, there's got to be electrical stuff in there. You know? So it's like, I don't know. But then they're like...
Well, yeah, because like when they first went in there, they're like, and the thing buzzed open. Like the... What's this
door?
Called? The sliding. Door. The gel... With the bars, though. It slid open. So it's still got electricity.
Yeah. And lights, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
So then Zach is yelling, are you standing in front of us? Get back in your cell. You're not allowed out of your cell. So
and you're like, well, the cell doors are open, though, Zach.
Yeah. So then they go to the sugar shack again.
Back to the sugar shack. That's where I'm at.
And place their static camera on the X.
Yeah.
Why didn't you do that in the first place?
Right. And then Zach's just immediately like, okay, here's the plan.
Yeah.
So we're going to have someone stay alone. Aaron, you're going to stay alone down here. And Aaron says, no, absolutely not. Or his exact words. He's like, no.
Nope.
Absolutely
so then Zach
not.
is like, fine, Nick, you are then. Zach.
And Nick does it because he's, afraid of Zach or something.
I think so,
Man,
too.
I was like proud of Aaron, though, for being
he's like, no, I'm not doing it.
But he was like laughing. He was like, no, absolutely not. That would be me.
Yeah.
There's no way I would stay down there alone.
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
With just your LED.
LED. Yeah, you can't
camera.
see anything. They made a point to say you can't even see like your hand in front of your face. It's that dark.
Then how are you going to see a ghost?
Good question.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they're not like
not.
luminescent.
Well, they saw an orb, but they caught that on their screen.
Stupid, though.
But then when they saw that orb, Zach was like, "We have no respect for you because you like scratch people and hurt them." And I'm like, you don't know that orb did anything. Zach.
That orb doesn't have hands.
It's a moth.
Phalanges. Is that toes?
It has no nails for which to scratch you with, Zach.
It's a decapitated head, probably.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm just screaming at him so I can get him all wound up for Nick.
I know.
Zach, rude.
But then later on, we get a piece of Zach's actual feelings about that. You'll see.
So we just immediately jump to 3 hours into the lockdown.
Because nothing's happening. Is this where the static camera picks up some weird sounds?
It says screaming. I don't hear screaming.
I hear scratching and
I heard
shuffling.
the scratching and shuffling, but I did not hear any auditory screaming.
Yeah, me neither.
But then when the scratching and shuffling happened, they have like an autofocus on their camera, so it did keep going in and out
Which is
focus,
interesting.
which So think about when you're trying to take a picture with your phone.
Yeah.
Even. You know how it kind of like gets
Yep.
blurry and clear because it's trying to focus
So that
on
makes
something.
it seem
So
like
that makes it seem like
Yeah.
that could have been something.
we'll take that. We'll
Yeah.
take that. Okay.
So then Zach and Aaron go into the hole where the guy was decapitated.
Yeah, and Zach pulls out his magic wand thing.
And starts explaining again to us.
I still don't understand what it was.
No.
Though. Like, that's a magic
And again,
wand.
yeah. And
like-
then he's telling us, then there are no flashlights. And then I realized it's super important for us to know that because he immediately walks into something.
Yes. And Aaron's like, you're walking like an old man.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is great.
It was
He's
great.
always walking into stuff. Like,
Yeah,
maybe you should
constantly.
have a flashlight for your safety.
And it's to the point where Aaron is having to be like, go to the left.
Little bit.
Turn
Turn
your
sideways.
body.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, just get a small
turn
flashlight.
the flashlight until you get to your destination.
Yeah, and just a small one. You
Yeah,
know,
this is stupid.
it's hilarious.
So, and then they're like, Artie Wall. He always calls him by his full name. Are you in here?
is your disembodied head in here? It's so. I mean,
Yeah.
he didn't say that, but like
No,
that's
but
who he
what are you
is. He
doing?
was decapitated in there.
Oh, and then we go back to Nick alone in the sugar shack where there's an EVP laughing mockingly in a mocking fashion.
I know.
The
You got
Zach's
the-
words, not mocking.
Well, and I got the closed captions on it. It says that too. I did hear a laugh, but I couldn't. I
but
couldn't
it
tell
sounded
was
like an
mocking.
actual laugh.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't an EVP. Someone was laughing at Zach walking into walls.
Probably. It's so great. Oh my god.
Back in the holes.
They keep hearing things, but we don't hear it.
Antagonizing Artie Wall.
I wrote Zach bros the crap out of us because he
Yes.
keeps just saying something about bro.
Yeah. But then there's a noise behind Zach and he freaks out.
Yeah, because he's
which
like,
was
it's
sort of
RD.
funny.
And then he just starts being like, RD, I can hear you. You're doing such
And
a
then-
good job, buddy.
But he was like, bah, bah. And Aaron's like, you're safe. And Zach's like, well, I know, I'm not scared.
I'm not a
I'm like,
wussy.
yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Well, first, Aaron calls him a wuss. He's like, you're being a wuss. And he's like, I'm not a wuss.
It's
And I'm
literally like
Aaron-
12-year-olds right now.
Aaron's like, I'm getting back at you for like making me be the duct tape
So great.
guy. And then Zach's like, oh, I'm real sick.
I got a
RD's
stomachache.
here, and my back hurts in my head. Well, Aaron gets a stomachache.
Yeah,
and
they
Zach
all
says
just
he's
feel-
being touched.
I'm being touched right now.
Yeah.
But it's so funny. This whole time, Zach keeps going, I feel you, buddy. You're doing a good job, buddy. It's so weird. I'm like,
it's like you go from being super antagonizing
Yes.
to now like stroking their ego.
yeah,
It's
keep
so
doing
weird.
that. Yeah.
And then Zach just starts being a big old crybaby. And then
Then he goes and stays alone in that room, right?
Yeah.
Everyone leaves him in that room.
he's like, I mean you no disrespect, RD. Do you want us to leave?
Yeah.
And then Aaron's like, oh my God, I just saw your breath.
Yeah, and you do see his breath.
you do see his breath, but it's like
Nighttime.
1 in the morning, 2
But
in
you
the
don't
morning,
see it
like-
anywhere else. I mean, well, maybe the temperature just dropped.
Yeah.
I don't know. It is interesting.
Yeah, so there was that. And then we go to 3 a.m., as Zach calls the witching hour.
It's like, we know, Zach.
And Aaron hits his head on a pipe twice. And Zach laughs. And I laugh. Because it was funny.
Because he's so mad at the pipe.
Yeah, he's like brushing everything off.
Apparently he has germ issues. We didn't know that until now because they're like the germaphobe, and
Well,
he's
this prison's been shut since
You know there's
1995.
spiders all over that
chill
thing.
out.
there's
Germs are dead.
there's no germs, but there are spiders crawling all over your head. Yeah.
So then Zach's like, okay, I'm tough again. I'm going to stay alone in the hole. Mm-hmm.
He's clearly scared, although he's telling us
Yeah.
he's not, but he definitely is scared.
He's like, just a reminder, where I'm staying, lots of people were murdered and heads were chopped off.
I'm not just one head.
One guy, Zach. One guy's head got chopped
that
off.
still
Calm
is,
down.
That still is a lot.
But there's no need to be dramatic.
I know. But then, so all the guys are leaving, and they're just kind of like, are you
Yeah,
sure?
we're going.
Yeah, we're
You
going.
sure you don't
And he's
want-
like, get out of here before I change my mind!
Yeah, and then they shut the door and he's like, no, don't shut the door. And they're like, no, we're shutting it's okay, Zach. It's not all the way shut.
I know.
Well, just don't shut it.
I know, it's funny that they didn't cut that out, though. Like, Zach just left that in, you know? Because he looks so
Yeah,
dumb.
so then he's just sitting in his little fold-up chair that they take everywhere.
I know.
It's like literally a metal folding chair.
that you would get in your local church
yeah.
basement.
And then Zach makes sure we know how dark it is. Again,
Very dark.
Can only see through his LCD screen with the night vision.
And he's
on.
like holding it in front of him so he can see what's behind him, which
Yeah.
I would probably do, though, because I'd want to know what's back there.
He's like, notice I'm not being as provocative as when Nick and Aaron are with me.
Because you're scared.
And then they go to commercial break, and I saw the picture of him eating the light bulb. I made a note. I saw it. I saw the picture.
Isn't it dumb?
And then he sees. Then they come back, and he sees his breath again, and then an EVP that says, "I'll kill you."
I know. Wow, it's the guy who chopped off Artie's head. Look out! What? Mind your neck.
Yeah, Zach, keep the night vision right on your neck at all times.
And then it's over.
4 a.m. and they pack up. So nothing happened. It was an entire episode of
nothing.
Redbone saved the day. If it weren't for Redbone and the old man falling. God, Ray. Has anyone checked on Ray?
Someone checked on Ray. Ray's probably
Ray
passed by now, I would say. You know,
from
these are 20-year-old episodes. So yeah, if you haven't watched the episode, you should totally go watch it because it's magical. I hope every episode's this magical because they're hilarious. They're so. Remember the last one? Was it the same guy that ran into the tomb thing? Remember he tripped and fell. Oh. The same one that bumped his head. Is he the clumsy one?
Yeah. Zach walks into stuff every episode.
True. Nick's the only one.
Nick's the only one who's got chill.
He's just posing
he's
all
posing.
the time for his glamour shots. Anywho,
hey guys,
watch it or don't. Whatever. Do you check out our socials? It is great. Check out our socials. You know, that's all.
Rate,
review, subscribe,
download, share us with your friends.
Yeah, tell a friend.
We want to fly.
Bye.
Bye.